Thank you, President. I have the honour to speak on behalf of the European Union. North Macedonia, Montenegro and Liechtenstein aligned themselves with the statement. We refer to our statements during the respective interactive dialogues on Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Sudan and Nicaragua. We reiterate our condemnation of Russia's illegal, unprovoked and unjustified war of aggression against Ukraine. The EU takes note of the updated OHCHR database on businesses operating in Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory and reiterates that settlements are illegal under international law and constitute an obstacle to peace. The EU continues to follow with great concern the security and human rights situation in different parts of Ethiopia. We look forward to the concrete implementation of the transitional justice policy. We're concerned about the restrictions of fundamental freedoms in the MENA region, including in Egypt, Tunisia and Yemen. The EU upholds its call on Bahrain to maintain its human rights obligations, especially with regard to human rights defenders. The EU strongly condemns the recent detentions by the Houthis of UN personnel and staff working for NGOs and diplomatic missions in Yemen. 2 years since the publication of the High Commissioner's report on Xinjiang, we take positive note of the OHCHR's press statement and encourage China to implement the report's recommendations and those received during the UPR. The EU welcomes the public commitments made by Bangladesh's interim government and army chief and the openness and steps in the field of human rights. Accountability and justice are essential to healing and a successful transition. The EU remains concerned over the shrinking space for civil society in Vietnam. On Venezuela, we are concerned about the deepening political crisis and increasing human rights violations. We call on the Venezuelan authorities to allow the immediate return of the OHCHR to Caracas and cooperate with it fully. The EU remains concerned by efforts to undermine the rule of law in Guatemala. We call on OHCHR to remain seized of the situation of displaced persons and refugees from Nagorno-Karabakh. The EU underlines its continued support for advancing a sustainable and lasting peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ambassador.